Good morning, beautiful people. I am trying to keep this sun up out of here. It's going to be a bright one today. A bright one. But good morning. And I want to say I have been up for hours. I have been rolling. I'm going to be a little tired today. Now, I stopped at Sepco on the way here. No coffee. Every single coffee maker was empty. Every single one. Including decaf, which I don't do anyways. So I had to stop at 7-Eleven. I got their premium blend. Oh my goodness. It is strong. And I do mean strong. I'm like, good Lord, I know I put sugar and creamer in there, but still, it's strong. Well, I ain't complaining, that's for sure. But I wanted to have a serious talk this morning. Late last night, well, not late. Last night I had went into the kitchen. I was getting a cup of coffee. Just trying to stay awake until a certain time when I feel like I can go to sleep without waking up at the crack of dawn 30. As soon as I walked into the kitchen, my husband was like, "Come here and look at this." I was like, "Give me a minute, I'm pouring my coffee." He said, "No, come here and look at this." I was like, "Okay." So I stepped around the corner of the kitchen into the living room. And I look at my husband, I said, "What do you want me to look at?" He said, "Look." And he points towards his dog. Now let me backtrack a little bit. My husband's dog is 16 years old. His name is Chai, but we call him Chai Chai. He's 16 years old. This is my husband's service dog for his PTSD. My husband's got to have him. He has to. Because when my husband, a spider web in the car. Ugh. So, my husband has to have his dog. It's even written in his medical records that my husband must have a service dog. That's a must. He's helped out my husband all these years. Every time he has a meltdown, he'll just pick up his dog and hold him and rock back and forth and cry. But there's sometimes that my husband doesn't even realize it, that he's having a meltdown, and his dog will go up to him and, paw at his arm or take his nose and try to, move my husband's hand to, pet me, calm down. Well, last night, he was on the floor, heavily, heavily panting. His front legs were out like this, but his back legs were spread out. And this dog is heavily panting, drilling massive amounts of drool just coming up out of his mouth, and violently shaking. I mean, he wouldn't stop shaking. I knew right then and there that he was having a seizure again. Apparently, this breed of dog is prone to seizures. He's a Cairn Terrier, like Toto from The Wizard of Oz. We didn't know it at the time that this was the case with this dog breed when we adopted him. But apparently, it is very common with this breed. So my husband is sitting there, and he's very relaxed when this is going on. Now, like I said, his dog is 16 years old. We're hoping and praying for another year with his dog. We're hoping. He's getting cataracts pretty bad. May not have that year, but you know, the amount of time that we do have with his dog, we're going to make it the best for him. I thought for sure my husband was going to start flipping the script right then and there. No, he didn't. He got some CBD oil for him, or CBD period, and he gave it to the dog, and it was able to relax him enough where his seizure wasn't as bad. But this seizure lasted several minutes, even after he got the CBD. Now, me personally, it was very upsetting for me. I had to go up in the other room. I can't watch something like that with an animal. It's very upsetting for me. So, a few minutes later, I went out there to check up on my husband and his dog. And I could tell that my husband was, by then, he's getting upset and worried about his dog. So my dog comes up over there. Now, I've had her for the past 4 years. Like I said, she hasn't ever been trained. She knows when my husband's having a seizure. She knows when he's having a stroke. And she won't leave his side. Well, for the past 4 years, she's been picking up cues from my husband's service dog, picking up cues from my husband, and she wiggled her way over there. She wanted to comfort him while this is going on, but she was trying to be respectful and keep her distance a little bit, you know. But she could tell that something was going on, so she was trying to comfort both of them last night. He seems like he's doing a lot better this morning. My husband's service dog. He was up, he was moving around like nothing happened, acting like a little spring chicken. So, but my husband picked him up last night and held on to him and cried and cried and cried. I can understand that because this is a dog. Now, we've owned several dogs up in the past, and my husband's bonded with them. He has cried when they had to be put to sleep. Oh God, it's like somebody ripping out my heart when that happens. But I can understand my husband's point of view because this is a dog that's specifically for him to help him out when he's having his PTSD meltdowns. And it's going to be hard for him. My husband has a lot of soul searching to do right now in what he needs to do for his dog. I can't tell him what to do with his dog. I'm not even going to suggest what he needs to do. This is something strictly for my husband to do. And I understand, it's hard for him. This is a dog that has been there through thick and thin. He has bonded with this dog like he has not bonded with other previous dogs that we have owned. This dog is strictly just meant for him and his PTSD when he's having meltdowns. When my husband is driving around town. His dog is actually too old to be a service dog now, but no matter what, it's still going to be a service dog. And when my husband's driving around town, he'll take his dog with him. He'll put him up in the front seat and wrap the little seat belt around him. Now, granted, the dog gets up out of the seatbelt, but still he'll do it. Now, if I'm driving the car and my husband's in the passenger seat, he'll hold on to his dog. Being in crowds and being outside, even though he's in his own car, it's still stressful for him on certain days, and his PTSD will flare up if there's large crowds of people. I mean, traffic and everything else. That's very stressful for my husband. And right around the 4th of July gets very stressful for him too. So, it's the loud booms and everything else that he hears that kind of upsets him a little bit. But when he, oh God, somebody's mowing. Jesus. So, my husband will turn around and hold on to his dog because somebody walks by the car when we're at a stop sign. His dog immediately stands up and starts barking. My husband, like I said, he has really, really bonded with this dog over the years, in which I don't blame him. It's upsetting for him. And I'm trying to straighten out my top here instead of looking all cockeyed. And it's hard for him. And when it's time for his dog, he's not going to have his little dog that he's bonded with. And I can understand he's upset by it. Really upset. But right now, my husband needs all the positive vibes, thoughts, and prayers right now. If everybody can please send him that. And it's hard for him. But when it comes time, God forbid, but when it does, I'm going to be there. Always am. Always. And then my husband will have my dog as his service dog. He likes having a little dog to hold on to when he's having a meltdown, because it relaxes him. But we're training my dog, and she's helped a lot over the years to alert me when he's having a seizure, when he's having a stroke. She knows to stay by his side too when he comes up out of it, so that way he sees something familiar that will relax him enough instead of coming up out of this seizure or a stroke and disoriented. So I think that, and then plus with her watching my husband's service dog Chai, and then watching my husband over the years, she knows too when to go up there and kind of nudge him, hey, pet me. She's picked up on the cues up over the years. And I must say, she is a very smart dog. She's Border Collie and Red Heeler mix. So, very smart dogs. Border Collies, let alone Red Heeler. No wonder why her instinct to herd the cats up in the corner is so strong. But, well, I'm just going to leave this here. And like I said, positive thoughts, vibes, and prayers for my husband and his service dog. Y'all come back now, you hear?